Hey, everyone. We appreciate you joining us today. I'm Justin Simon. That half a face you see over there in your screen, now that full face you see over there in your screen is Brandon Boykin. Check out Fanzeal.com. It is where fans connect with athletes, and we get to be fans here, which is one of the nice things about this blab, is that I get to wear Eagles green after our victory last week and the one we are going to have this week. But a lot's going on in football this week. We want to start out with some major injury news just so we can get this kind of out of the way. Because big things are happening. E.J. Manuel will start in place of Taylor at quarterback in Buffalo, and there are already some in the organization who are saying if he plays well, he could start. This, to me, sounds like the front office versus Rex Ryan, because I think Rex Ryan wants E.J. Manuel nowhere near the field, my man.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you've already seen the body of work that the dude has, and which is
poor at best.
Let me give you my best idea of what E.J. Manuel is. And for the old school people out there, which I know there's probably not many of you, you'll remember the Raiders used to have a backup quarterback by the name of Vince Evans.
What was this? Evans was about 1604?
This was like in the 80s, early 90s. Vince Evans was like the original Michael Vick. Guy had a cannon for an arm. He liked to run, but the dude was like 40.
Yeah, well, E.J. Manuel is much younger, but not as talented. And everybody, we're going to be opening up seats here in a little bit. We want to hear what you have to say on the Fanzeal Whip Around. Again, the beauty of this is that we're all about the fans. And so we're going to get your 2 cents in it, but just want to make sure we're covering some injury news before we kick into the day. Andrew Luck reportedly will go tonight against the Patriots, which is a big deal, although there are some who wonder if Hasselbeck shouldn't be starting given Luck's record against the Patriots, and we'll touch on that here momentarily. Alshon Jeffrey is going to be back against the Bears. Now, it's been a 4-week absence since he hurt his hamstring, and rumor has it he will be back, and the way Cutler is playing, that suddenly makes the Bears a not a great team, but an acceptable team that you kind of don't want to go against. And J.J. Watt, even with illness, is going to play this week, which is a big deal in Houston because, they've not been very good, and T.J. Yeldon is out, so they have even less of a run game to stop. So, it's going to be an interesting day in football. Let's kind of just start around. We started with E.J. Manuel. Let's look at that Bengals-Bills game. The Bengals are fully healthy. The Bills are playing E.J. Manuel. What do you see here other than this should be a blowout, I would think?
Yeah, E.J. Manuel makes it hard because, I mean, that offense is not great.
Yep.
Taylor was basically a game manager. He did just enough to not screw up. And I don't know if Manuel can do that. Manuel has the physical gifts, the talent, but he's just not smart enough of a quarterback yet to really be able to run a team on his own. I know the team, they're looking at it like, this dude's a first-rounder, but he's a first-rounder because you made him a first-rounder.
Right.
Nobody else was.
Yeah, nobody. At least nobody's admitting it.
No, well,
I
thought the guy was a third-rounder at best, and that's just based off of his combine numbers. But he's just not. He hasn't shown that he's smart enough as a quarterback to make the right decisions. And the teams that you got to play against in that division, the defense is holding them up right now.
Yep.
Defense is what's keeping them alive. Their offense is meh at best. So look, I'm going with the Bengals on this one.
Division outside the Patriots can win. And Jeff Higgins, just to answer your question out there, sir, Marshawn Lynch does look like he's going to play. We do not know if he's going to be on a pitch count yet or if he's fully healthy. Given the way that offense has worked, they really could use him back because they can't seem to find Jimmy Graham anywhere. And what they've got on the wings is solid, but it's certainly not great. But I'll tell you what, if that offensive line in Seattle doesn't start blocking, it's not really going to make a difference whether or not Lynch plays because he's going to average 3 yards a carry. Even beast mode needs somebody to get in the way of oncoming rushers.
Hey, Russell Wilson, you know where Jimmy Graham is? He's that 6'7" dude in the end zone.
Yeah, they can't seem to find him, and they keep talking about it. And look, they're playing a Panthers team this week that is a very good defense. Looks like they're going to get Luke Kuechly back this week, which is huge. I mean, that's the heart and soul of their defense when he's not concussed. That's a tough matchup for a Seattle team that has been very shaky this year, even after Cam Chancellor came back. You have no offensive line. Marshawn Lynch is coming off an injury. You've got Jimmy Graham, who they can't seem to figure out what to do with. They keep saying, we're going to get him more involved. We're going to get him more involved. But it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it. This is one of those games where you're in Seattle, and of course, the 12th man did its job last night, waking up the Panthers with a fire alarm in the middle of the night, as they want to do in Seattle. But I got to tell you, Brandon, I'm taking the Panthers in this game. I think you're going to see a road team upset.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of with you. This game really is a 50-50 flip for me. You have a lot of reasons why you could pick either team. I just don't know if the Panthers, their offense, I don't know if they can score enough points. They've done it all season with no weapons. If their front line, if Seattle's front line can contain Cam Newton, then I could see them coming away. But nobody's been able to do that all season. So I'll think I'll ride with you on this one, brother. And I think I'm going with the Panthers 3 points.
We're calling it a close game. I think that's probably a good idea. I think that, as some people have said here, that the Panthers do have it together. Rivera's coaching a really well-coached team this year. They're playing very well. It would not be a tremendous upset being that they're in Seattle, but I really do think that it's going to be the Panthers taking that one. It's going to be one of those close games. I think you're going to see a close game in Cleveland, of all places, too. And if you would have told me this 4 weeks ago, that Peyton Manning was going to go into Cleveland, and this is probably going to be a one-touchdown game, I think we all would have laughed in your face. But they have the best defense in the league, and they'll be playing without DeMarcus Ware. And they have one of the worst offenses in the league. A Peyton Manning and his half an arm. He's got kind of that whole numb situation going on with the hands. They're bad. They can't run. They can't throw deep. And this Cleveland team, they've got a little confidence. They know they're not great. And obviously Johnny Manziel's not going to see the field this week, but I think that's better for Cleveland. McCown's a much more professional veteran quarterback. I think you might see an upset this week. And though I think I might be going a little nuts out on a limb to take it, I'm going to go Cleveland with the upset.
Let me give Peyton Manning the only compliment that I probably will give him all season. Probably gave him one somewhere else, but he throws the most accurate duck that I've ever seen in the NFL. You think of a quarterback that's that good, you think he's going to have a nice tight spiral, some accuracy. That thing looks like a 7-year-old heaving it off of his back. But for all intents and purposes, everyone loves Peyton Manning. The dude is smart. I mean, I just think that he just needs to call it quits now and take a job as a quarterback coach. Cleveland has been on a roll. I don't know how much this whole Manziel thing that happened on Monday sounds like he flew off the wagon a little bit. But there's still a lot more to come out about that.
He's a backup quarterback, and he's picked up some faith in the locker room, but he's not stepping on the field. And I think that's where it becomes irrelevant. I agree with you. Manning can't throw, but the bigger problem with Manning not being able to throw is he throws this 130-yard, long throw last week, and everybody goes, Peyton Manning's back. Did you see how much effort he had to put into the ball to get it 30 yards downfield?
Oh, dude, he probably pulled his OLD.
His OLD?
Yeah.
I like it. We're making up body parts now. But that's the problem is he can't get the ball downfield. So you can play a defense now against Peyton Manning that you used to never could. You can drop 8-man up. You can play your safety shallow because he's not going to throw the ball over your head. And now you're cutting down the field to his target area is next to nothing. I think Peyton is 1 year removed, as MVG 830 said, from being on TV. I don't think he's going to coach for a while. I think he's a television personality in the making. He's brilliant on the commercials. This is obviously his last year because he won't play again if he can't throw. I'm going to go Cleveland in the upset. What do you got, bud?
I'm still going to go with Denver. They're going to, their defense is solid. I just don't believe in Cleveland putting up that many points. I mean, really, like you said, it could be a one-touchdown game. But to me, I think whoever scores 20 in this is going to win.
I think neither team scoring 20. I think you're looking at 17-13 Cleveland.
Well, I don't think the offenses are going to be the ones scoring. That's the thing. It's going to be who knocks out more fumbles and who's going to return the kicks. And because, neither team is looking great, but, Cleveland's defense is looking very, very stout. It's holding up for them, and whatever mistakes their offense is making, they're making up for it. But Denver, they're definitely going to miss DeMarcus Ware.
Yep.
That guy's huge on the end as far as bringing the rush. But, and mind you, most people that know me very well, they know that there are a few football teams that I despise. The Giants are actually not one of them, even though
you hate Eli Manning. That's a different story.
But, yeah, I do not like the Broncos. That's
but you're picking them this week in a close game.
I'm picking them this week. I just feel that they have the stronger team, and they're going to make the least amount of mistakes. So, like you say, one touchdown game.
There we go. All right, so we're gonna stay in that conference, and we're gonna go down to Jacksonville. The Texans and a broken J.J. Watt are going to play a T.J. Yeldon-less, Blake Bortles-led Jacksonville Jaguars team. Houston has been a mess. The Jaguars have not been great, but they've been very competitive. Bortles is really starting to find Robinson and Hearns on the outside. They're really starting to get that passing game going. The defense is slightly improving. The Yeldon thing is a big loss because, well, I run about as fast as Toby Gerhardt, and I wouldn't trust me with a football in an NFL game, especially against Houston's front line. But I'm going to go the home team. I think Jacksonville pulls this one out today.
I got to disagree with you, brother. On this one, I'm going Texas, and for one reason. Blake Bortles could be the new sports spokesman for Aflac because there's going to be a lot of accidents in that backfield. Dude, really? Texas may not have much, but they know how to get to the QB. And those boys are hungry down there. Jacksonville, I just don't see them putting all the pieces together.
All right, we're going to
really make
one of our fans here today, Kevin Cow. Kevin, what do you got?
I'm actually going to watch the NFL Red Zone, so I'm going to see everything.
Well, what do you got in the Jacksonville-Houston game?
I'm gonna have to go for. I'm going to see which one do you think is home and which one is winning the most between those two teams. I'm gonna check the roster.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you look that up. We'll come back to you here. The interesting thing with Houston is Brian Hoyer is going to get the start. He's looked much better than Mallett. He's going to throw an interception. It's going to be a bad interception, guaranteed. It's a matter of when. If he does it early, it's not that big a deal. If he does it late, this is where he really shoots his team right in the face every week, it seems. But he puts them in a better chance, and Bill O'Brien never should have gone away from him 3 quarters into the first game. He gives the team a better chance to win week in and week out than Ryan Mallett does. This far into the season, you've got to see that. I'm still taking Jacksonville. I still think they're gonna win this game. There's
I'm thinking the final score in this game is going to be something like 9-6.
Something game. You're looking at 27-24, 27-21. These teams can score, and the defenses should both be better, but they're not. Speaking of defenses that should be better, my man, what is going on in Detroit? And before we get to that, go to Fanzeal.com right now. Check out the funniest newsletter in sports. You can sign up. This is going to be it's a sports startup that will be launching here in the next month or so, giving you guys as fans the chance to talk and interact with your favorite athletes. It's Fanzeal.com. But so we go back to Detroit, and they're going to play the Bears. And again, Cutler's back, Alshon Jeffrey's back. You've got some talent again. Matt Forte is the most reliable running back in football. Detroit, are they heading for one of those 2-win seasons of a team that should have made the playoffs?
Yeah, they're too caught up in what coulda, shoulda, woulda, and didn't. They've lost a couple of games here, bad calls.
fumble is brutal.
Play calling.
Play calling's terrible. Matthew Stafford looks like he went from being in his mid-20s to about 47 overnight.
Oh, that dude is frigid back there. That dude is ice cold. He couldn't, man. And Megatron is just running out in the field like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Give me some help.
Seems to have no game plan. They come in each week. They're really not sure what's happening. It's not a good scene up there. I think the Bears go into Detroit this week. I think Detroit goes into the whole, we can play with pride, we can play with whatever. And I think the Bears walk out of there with a 7-point win.
Yeah, as bad as the Bears are, they're that much better than Detroit.
Yep.
And that's saying a lot. Because a couple of weeks ago, people were
for about 9 seasons, people
were calling for Cutler's head.
He's that classic NFL conundrum.
Now the dude's looking like the quarterback.
You don't have enough starting quarterbacks in this league. So what do you do when you have the guy who's the 15th, 16th, 17th best, who keeps putting you into the middle of round 1, where you then can't get a guy who's better? You can't get that top 5 pick. You get the Ryan Tannehills and the Andy Daltons, who have proven to be able to be good NFL quarterbacks. My man, you need a glass of water over there. It's a little, or just stick your head outside in the LA rain. So Cutler.
Yeah, no, stick my head.
So the Bears are stuck with Cutler. The Texans will pick early next year. They're going to get a better quarterback. Tell you a team that doesn't need a quarterback, as long as we're staying in the NFC Central here, is the NFC North is the NFC Central. What are we, 6? We're in baseball all of a sudden. The NFC North, you got the Vikings, who are going to host a Chiefs team that's now without Jamal Charles. They got West, they got Davis coming in to replace him, but you can't replace a Jamal Charles, and especially when an Andy Reid offense is entirely based around that running game. It's certainly Alex Smith is game manager. I'll tell you, the defense of Kansas City has looked good, but they have not looked what I think a lot of people thought they would be. I think Adrian Peterson is going all day against these guys. I think you're looking at 160, 165-yard all-purpose game. He's not going to catch that many, but I think you're looking at 20, 30 yards of receptions, 120, 130 yards of running. I think they're going to run the Chiefs right out of the building in Minnesota.
Yes, you have no argument for me on this one. This is going to be Peterson's breakout game. He's going to return to the the AD all day that we know and love. The guy that looked like he was playing Madden and everybody else was playing Atari. KC's defense, they're good, but they're not that good. And right now, I really think that they're feeling the loss of Charles, and they're kind of, they're playing with their heads down a little bit. This is, they've had a tough couple of weeks, starting with that loss on the fumble. And, I think Charles goes out. The dude was already sucking his thumb and, with his head down, and now the guy's injured. So the whole team, they're really, really, they need a big pick-me-up. And I don't think that they're going to go out and win one for the Gipper. And that speech isn't going to work this week. And they got to look across the field, and they got to see Adrian Peterson over there foaming at the mouth and just waiting to feast on every one of their linebackers.
Yep.
And the secondary over there is shaking because nobody in that secondary wants to see Peterson get in the box with them. And they're all going to go to the Dion School of arm tackling when he's running by.
I think the Vikings are going to keep just eking up those standings. We're going down to Tennessee for Titans and Dolphins, and we don't have to spend too much time on this because it's going to be an ugly game, but I am interested to see. Miami's got a new coach. They got rid of their defensive coordinator. They had a lot of internal strife. Are they a more talented team than they were 2 weeks ago? No. But are they going to be a more disciplined, more aggressive, angrier, let us show you something team? Maybe.
Yeah. I honestly think Mariota's going to show us more than they are. Mariota's going to show off if he really is the real deal, and he's also going to show if their defense really is, as Dennis Green said, they showed us who they really are.
Well,
so,
that's the interesting thing.
Yeah, so Mariota's not a great quarterback, but for a rookie, the kid has poise, and he has shown that he can pick a team apart. So I'm going with
I have
Tennessee
picked
on
the
this.
Dolphins about
I
3
gotta
or
go
4
Tennessee.
times so far this year and been wrong every single time. Every time I pick them, they suck. They've been awful. Yep. They've been brutal. It's been like playing the bad news Bears out there. So you know what I have to do today? I'm going with the Dolphins. Because I'm going new quarterback situation. I'm going new defensive situation. I'm going players that want to prove that it was Philbin's fault and the defensive coordinator's fault, and players telling the front office, look, give us somebody who can actually coach us the way we should be playing. Stop putting us into these 2-gap situations on the defensive line. Stop this basic blitz package. We're coming in strong. We're not letting a rookie quarterback beat us. I don't care. I'm going Dolphins. I may regret that in about 4 hours, but we'll deal with that then.
The Dolphins have been using the Tecmo Bowl playbook for the last 2 seasons. There's 4 plays. Dude, open up when your playbook is a pamphlet, you got to wonder why the rest of the league is killing you. But then you played in Ndamukong all that money, and the dude looks like
it's like $400 million to have like a 72-year-old refrigerator Perry stock the center of your line in the Olay format. He's like, oh, you want to run? Here you go. You don't want me to back anybody, right? You don't want me to actually get in your backfield. That would require energy and effort, and I don't want to put energy and effort into this nonsense.
You think the Dolphins wish that they had the Detroit version of Ndamukong with all the emotional, because he claims he's not an emotional player, but I mean that dude.
Well, right now they have no heart, they have no soul, and I bet they would have taken a third of the Detroit Sioux, but that's another story because they're not going to get him. But maybe under Carpenter they will. We're going to see. So you've got Redskins at Jets. Don't need to spend too much time on this. I don't think the Redskins have any shot in New York. At least I think that's a pretty over game. The Jets have looked good. The offense is running well, and even though that's a good running defense in Washington, I just don't see Cousins having enough to defeat that Jets defense. You?
Same. I'm right here with you. Jets, they can look great against the bottom feeders. So I expect them to beat up on the Skins, and hey, maybe we'll have an RG3 sighting.
Yeah, we're totally going to have an RG3 sighting. He's going to be holding a towel on the sideline. Cardinals Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Bruce Arians return game. This is a much more interesting game if Roethlisberger is playing. If Roethlisberger is playing, these are 2 great teams. You don't know which way it's going to break, but without Roethlisberger, the Steelers simply don't trust Michael Vick to run a play longer than 2.5 yards. Antonio Brown's become useless. Their Heath Miller is a target now 3 yards in on slants. They've got nothing. They got this great running game, and Michael Vick is just scared. And I don't know why the Steelers aren't saying, look, is he Ben Roethlisberger? No. But this guy's a veteran quarterback. He can make a 10-yard pass.
Yeah, it's his accuracy. I mean, Vic still has an arm. The guy still can sling the ball. The problem is his accuracy. And I think this is where the size differential, and I normally think that this is kind of passé when people bring it up, but I think this is where the size differential in the quarterback makes a difference. You got Roethlisberger, who's back there the size of an oak tree, and then you look at Vic, who's this slim, athletic dude. The guy's 6 foot at best, and I think Roethlisberger's like, 6'4"? And when you look at the way that they throw and the release point on the ball, Roethlisberger is coming over the top, and it's not necessarily a bullet when it's coming at him, but it's kind of floating in. Versus Vic, he's throwing, and he's coming straight from the shoulders. So a lot of times where the receivers, where they're used to catching the ball, they're used to it coming in a little bit softer, coming in higher, and he's able to throw over the defense. Versus Vic, he's trying to throw the defense or on the side. And I think that's something that they could correct in practice, but apparently not. I still think they can turn things around. I think Roethlisberger is out for another 2 weeks.
Depending on how the knee feels. Yep.
So I still think they could turn it around. If Pittsburgh, as long as they're running game,
not against this Arizona team, right? I mean, you're not going to sit there and tell me that this Arizona team, which, by the way, coming off a bad, angry, annoying loss, when Bruce Arians returns to Pittsburgh, a team that in essence retired him, And with the way that Chris Johnson is running, with the way that all these guys are playing, I got to tell you, I can't see how Pittsburgh wins this game, even in Pittsburgh.
Well, here's the X factor I have for the game. There's actually two X factors. Pittsburgh secondary, which has, they've got some question marks. They've got some solid players over there. But it's also going to be Arizona's O-line. You cannot let guys like Harrison get to your quarterback, get to Palmer. We all know Palmer is a hit away, and every time we see him take one of those hard crunches, everybody on the sidelines is like, oh, is this the one that's going to put him out in the season? Because it happens every year, and it's always the time that we say, who's the secondary quarterback, the dude that we have no idea who he is, and he'll lead them and get them right to the playoffs.
I agree with you, but the running game this year between Johnson, and now Ellington is back, has been so good that you can't sit there and rush the quarterback all day long. Even on obvious passing downs, you got to worry about the swing passes. They've got talent. I'm going with the Cardinals. Who are you picking, my man?
Yeah. I'm going with the Steelers. Take the Steelers.
Wow, I got to correct our little Twitter feed here. Because I just assumed you were going with the Cardinals because I thought you knew anything about football, but it turns out you're going Steelers, and I look forward to dropping that in later.
Who has the better record?
I haven't seen you put up the latest stats yet, so I'm going to have to hold off on answering that question yet. We got 5 minutes for the game's kickoff here. It's NFL Sunday, Week 6 on Fanzeal. Go to fanzeal.com. Check out the funniest newsletter in sports. Follow us on Twitter at Fanzeal. We're going to be doing a lot of videos at Fanzeal Sports on YouTube. Real quickly, we got 4 games left to talk about. Ravens at 49ers. It's too ugly for me to even care about. Just pick a team. That's what I'm going to go with, too, because I don't want to watch that game. Chargers at Green Bay. Normally, I would think this would be a contest, not in Lambeau, not the way the Packers have been playing. Chargers have been very shaky. I think this is going to be a Green Bay runaway.
Yeah, I think it'll be done by halftime. Philip is going to be eating cheese.
Have you seen, by the way, this is my favorite new thing in the league, the new hats coming out in Green Bay? They not only do they cheese heads, they now have the corn cobs for Randall Cobb. They got corn cobs coming out of their dome. I love it. I love what they do with Wisconsin. All right, I think we're going to have to get me a pair, and next week we're going to be sitting here. I'm going to have Cobb heads on. Patriots at Colts in the night game tonight. Should be an interesting game. Andrew Luck is back. Not totally healthy, but he's playing in this game. What do you think? There you go. There's the rest of your head.
Okay. I can't see you at all. I'm thinking the Patriots are going to win by, let's say, 20. Now, are they going to be checking the balls to see how inflated they are? Are they going to be checking the grass to see if it's cut too short? Are they going to be testing the referees?
Right, the barometer, see if it's like, a 3-degree dew point today?
Yeah, are they gonna be checking Tom Brady's toenails and fingernails to make sure that they're not too long? What's going to be the reason? Because every time, like, what is it, the last 5 times that they've played the Colts, they basically stomped a mud hole in them like it was nobody's business. They beat them like they stole something. So
I agree with you. Anna Maria Social. I think that I can't disagree with you anymore. I think the Patriots are angry. I think they won't say it. I think they rush between Lewis and Blount. I think you're looking at 225 yards rushing and or swing passes today, little things out of the backfield. I think Brady throws for 400. I think they put up 40 points on this team. And I just don't think the way the Colts offense has been playing, they can put up 40. They have the talent. They just haven't done it yet this year. They're out of sync. They're out of rhythm. I think you're looking at easily a 15-point win for the Patriots. And being that I have Tom Brady and Deion Lewis in my money league on fantasy, I'm hoping the two of them connect about 900 times today. Lastly, as we get ready for kickoff here in a minute, one game tomorrow night, and I'm wearing my colors already, big NFC East game, New York Giants at Philadelphia Eagles, the Eli Manning, Sam Bradford, what is going on in Philadelphia ball? Who do you got? What do you like? Who do you hate?
Philly, for the love of God, please do me a favor. Stretcher this dude, Eli Manning, out. Okay, I'll be nice. I won't say that. But please just expose this kid for the jackpot that he is. I mean, and I don't mean jackpot like in you're winning.
Yeah, not
like
a fan of Eli Manning.
Jackpot, whatever. I want to say Philly. I really, really want to say Philly. I'm hoping this is the week that they turn it around. DeMarco Murray realizes that he's supposed to run
that way, straight
that way.
To the line.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you talk about a waste of talent on this team, underperforming. Let me say this, and we've discussed this before. If Chip Kelly loses this game, and if he loses this game badly, the Chip Kelly to USC rumors will start to get louder.
Absolutely.
They will become very real. You heard it here first, folks. I know everyone thinks that, there's never a chance. If Chip Kelly loses this game and loses it badly, him going back to USC is a very real possibility because Philly will have the pitch out for him. There's no way that they should be losing with this much talent. They've got, he's got his guys in his system. There's no way that they should be losing. That said, I'm picking Philly by 10 points. If Eli Manning throws for 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, you know what? I'm going to be on the Philly bandwagon with my pitchfork saying that, Chip Kelly needs to be on his way out. There's no way you guys should be losing it. Your division, you're like a game out of first.
Are going to win this game. Horrible. It's in Philadelphia. It's on Monday night. Done deal. Done deal.
They better. If Philly loses this game, Chip Kelly needs to get tossed in the jail under the stadium.
We appreciate everybody joining. Special hat tip to Anna Marie's Social. A lot of great input on the chat today. Look forward to having you join us here for another week. This is the Fanzeal NFL Whip Around. We'll be doing this Friday nights moving forward to kind of preview the weekend. It's, get ahead of the action. We'll pipe back in on Sunday mornings on Twitter and check out fanzeal.com and @Fanzeal on Twitter. We love being here. We love the fans. We love dealing with all these athletes that you'll get a chance to talk to through Fanzeal. But make sure you check us out. Have a good Sunday. Have a good week 6. Hopefully your fantasy team does well, and we'll see you next week.